keep clean.
And did you notice the window treatment? Before they were square, you know, and now they've been arched.
Yeah.
And that outdoor-indoor idea's here in the kitchen, too.
Yeah.
The board and batten wall is like an outside wall, and the parts have been painted a barn red.
Yeah.
That's the telephone. It sounds nice, doesn't it? Hello?
Betty, may I speak to Nancy, please?
Yes, just a minute, Daddy. Nancy? Telephone for you, it's Betty.
Thanks, Mother.
Hi, Betty.
Hi, Nancy. Guess what?
You little step saver, you.
Talking to yourself again, Jeannie?
Oh, hi, darling. Well, how do you like it?
Say, very pretty. I'm glad you had it cut.
Oh, Fred, you're hopeless.
Now tell me, what's new?
Only everything. But I'll tell you about it later. If you're going to change, you better hurry.
Say, you're right.
Oh, Mother! You look beautiful in your new dress. And you even smell good, too.
Well, thank you, darling. How do you like eating in the new window seat, Pete?
Great. Yeah, it makes food taste better. I can't wait till my friends come over. They'll love eating in here like on a porch.
And I love the conveniences. Like the linen chest.
And the washer dryer and the kitchenette lamp.
Oh, especially now that everything's washable. Even your walls go in.
You mean the cantaloupe covering my alcove? And the boys' tablecloth curtains and spreads, too.
That's right. Now, children, your father's friends will be here any minute. Kevin, will you rinse the plates and Nancy put them in the dishwasher, please?
What do I do?
You just stay my sweet little boy. Now you go on upstairs and get ready for bed. Go on now, I'll be up in a minute.
Yes, Jeannie?
They'll be here any minute. Would you answer the doorbell? I'm pretty busy.
Sure, honey. Hi, George. Is that you? Yeah. Hey, Fred, where are you? Just sit tight. I'll be right down. You know, the minute I came in, I knew there was something different.
Why, it's the garden-style furniture. It's so light in color and design. And of course, all the glass. And during the day, it's wonderful. It's like being outside when you're inside. Or inside out. Well, there's one thing that hasn't changed. The food's just as good as ever. It certainly is. Well, thank you. Let's go into the living room and have coffee. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, that wonders, what a cook. Glad you come, George. Jeannie, I'm gonna run upstairs and check on Peter. Our youngest has been a little restless the last couple nights.
You don't have to with the new home interphone. The telephone in the boys' room picks up every noise, and we can hear it down here. Like this. Everything's fine. As the man from the telephone company said, a built-in babysitter.
How about that? George, I've got some good news for you.
Oh my, those are unusual cabinets. And the lattice keeps them from being heavy in this gay, airy room. But they must have been expensive. Well, that's just it. They look expensive, but they aren't. They're just old bookcases. And it's simple for the carpenter to add the doors. The lattice work or strips of wood you can buy in the lumber yard for less than 3 cents a foot. I certainly admire your courage in picking colors. Oh, it isn't courage. These are the colors I'm happiest with. I mean all the trouble it is to keep them clean. No more trouble than a handkerchief. Really? You know, the slipcover, the draperies, the pillows have a soil-resistant finish. But suppose you pick the wrong ones. Then you're stuck with bright colors you don't like. Well, here's the trick a decorator taught me. You buy a piece of material and let it lie around the house for a while. Then you decide if you really like it. Oh, I see. And another tip I picked up. You know, I always thought of lighting as something to help me see better. But the decorators also use it to cast interesting shadows on the walls and the floor, and to separate areas. A nice evening, wasn't it?
We'll have to change the house every time we give a party.
Oh, we'll change the house again when Nancy gets married and the boys go to college.
Change it? For what?
For one room with a view. Or two. And you know, I only came upstairs 3 times today. Thanks to Alexander Graham Bell.
Say, this is wonderful.
Oh? You mean you like the decorating?
I mean, you got my blue suit.
Oh.
You really did a wonderful job on the house, Jeannie. So fast. Almost like magic. You, didn't go over the budget, did you?
Sorry.
How much?
$2.33.
Well, as long as you're not way over, like maybe, say, $5 or something.
You know, Fred, I wonder if I should have tried beige in the living room instead of blue. Hello?
Mr. McCall.
calls at your service. Did I understand you to say that you were dissatisfied with something?
I should have known you could hear me. No, don't give it another thought. Everything's perfect. Everything.
I'm glad to hear that. Good night.
Good night.
City squares, buses, churches, plowed fields of black soil, tractors, trucks, and grain in the elevators, rolling hills, hometowns, friends and neighbors, backyards and streets, and the highway over to Junction City. This is America, young, lusty, where necessity has been indeed the mother of invention. Westward push. For 250 years, we spread thin across a continent.
Another 50 years and the job was done. The new rawness gave way to dignity and a way of life. People were established. It was time to turn to new things. With great daring and a certain amount of apprehension, a man could buy one of those newfangled buggies, a horseless carriage. This was the year 1903 that the brothers named Wright, Orville and Wilbur, at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, put wings on the engine and flew. These were the days people said, auto cars? Not practical. Why, we don't have auto car roads. By the 1920s, cars were old hat. But to most people, the Wright brothers' invention was still new. It was at this time they saw their first airplane. The day of the barnstormer had come. You saw them at county fairs. They landed in pastures, took a few of the daring for a ride, and moved on. It wasn't all joy rides. Airplane people were serious. They flew the mail from coast to coast. By 1927, there were 240 airports in the land. City fathers debated the question of where to put the airport. Today, there are 7,000 airports. Every major city has at least one. Almost half of America's airports are publicly owned. They are a public facility like parks and streets, libraries and auditoriums. They are the basis of new industries and the extension of others. They are in growing demand and strive mightily to meet that demand. A third of America lives in small towns and on farms or ranches. These towns have less than 2,500 people and are centers for the surrounding country. Since the first barnstormer landed in the levelest adjacent pasture he could find, the small towns have discussed and planned airports. The biggest question then and now is, where should the airport be? How far from town? Or how close to town? Will air visitors walk? Or will there be commercial ground transportation or courtesy cars? The land immediately available was often accepted as solving the question. Today, the town fathers, the civic planners, are more thoughtful. There are examples to study. There is experience to draw from. But most important is the nearly phenomenal growth of airplane usage to be considered. Airplanes aren't an occasional sight anymore. They are common. They are almost old hat. An airport is a terminal, a depot. It should be easily available, as close to town as possible. Airport specifications vary according to altitude and temperature. Local specifications are available from state aeronautics departments. How big is the job of building a community airport? The biggest investment is the land, 15 to 40 acres, level and clear, with good airplane approaches at both ends. Airport expansion must be considered. Longer runways, future parking space, and more hangars. Wise men look back over the past 2 decades and plan for the 20 years to come. Farmers and ranchers are ardent and faithful airplane users. The big ground distances in rural America are reduced a third or a quarter by flying. This flying is having a strong effect on the economy of raising a crop and bringing it to harvest. Growers have streamlined agriculture, and since the introduction of farm machinery, they have put it on a mass production basis. Since World War II, the airplane to the farmer has been a useful piece of farm machinery. The local airport has become community headquarters for seeding and fertilizing, the application of harvest sprays, the control of weeds, the control of insects and all the principal crops. An airport is no luxury item. It is the hub of thousands of acres of farmland, and to the surrounding community, the rural airport reduces the cost of aerial dusting and spray. The airplanes can be based close to the job, and by this, the savings can be as much as $1 an acre for each acre fertilized, seeded, dusted, or sprayed. One season's work of crop dusting has often paid for an airport. Many farmers and ranchers are airplane owners. They have an airstrip at the home place, but if the combine is down, they are not averse to landing in the stubble to see that the machine is soon going again. Learn to use the airplane like a pickup truck, to go into town for plowshares, axles, or seed. Tomorrow, they'll go over to Eden to attend the farm auction, and they'll make a dozen trips into town before the plowing is done. The government services use community airports in the management of the public domain. At one time, the protection of our 150 national forests depended upon ground crews that often had to hike trail into the fire. Today, the Forest Service contracts for fixed base airplanes to spot and survey fires. Older planes are usually used for this work since they have short landing field characteristics and are especially suited to the job. Smoke jumper firefighting crews parachute to a position near the fire and put it out before it has a chance to spread. This system of reaching fires while they are small has been in use for well over a decade to save billions of board feet of timber. Smoke jumping has also contributed to the protection of the nation's water supply. The small airport, both municipal and private, plays an important role in the protection of natural resources. Aerial conservation work is done by the U.S. Bureau of Entomology and Plant Quarantine. In the east and in the west, large forest land areas have been sprayed to kill destructive insects. The gypsy moth, the tussock moth, the spruce budworm, the pine butterfly. Since more timber is lost to insects than to fire, this work by airplanes is significant. It has an indirect effect on all Americans. It reaches out to us through our lumber industry, through our nation's wood supply, into paper and furniture and housing and all the products of wood. American industry and business in the West, in the South, in the East, is the #1 user of airplanes and airports. Most municipal airports of the manufacturing centers of New England, the Great Lakes region, and the South are constructed to handle a constant flow of air traffic. Runways are paved. They are long, and there are several of them. They are built for heavy multi-engine aircraft. They are built to handle the executive aircraft of American industry. As industry builds branch factories, as it follows the pattern of decentralization, the smaller cities face an airport problem. There are few large industries today that are not airplane users. Many use both large and small aircraft. The smaller business planes are used by the engineering division, by production, and by the spearheading sales division. As one sales manager said, "We use our airplane because it makes us independent. We make our own schedules. We don't have delays en route. We gain from 2 to 3 days a week. We figure the cost of a trip by regular public transportation and apply it to our airplane fund." The salesmen with big territories to cover are turning to the airplane. They visit the town with an airport like they used to visit the town on the railroad and then the town on the highway. More and more, they will come to the town with an airport. Where is the industry that isn't dependent upon sales? Where is the industry that doesn't want to maintain the position it's reached? Where is its payroll? Of America's products from manufacturer to consumer is vital. The consumer is the market. The market found and developed by a salesman. Airports serve in local emergencies. They are part of the plan in case of national emergency. Airports are terminals for freight. Airports are a necessity to a multi-million-dollar dusting and spraying business. They are used by farmers. By ranchers. They are used by families, by sportsmen and vacationers. They are used by the Fish and Wildlife Services, by pipe and power line patrolmen, by local airlines in outlying districts. The first 2 hours after sunup is when most of the planes go out. They may be going on business for a construction corporation, for an oil company, for a diesel engine distributor. It may be a local real estate man, or an orthopedic surgeon, or a mining engineer. They may land at Winnipeg, Atlanta, Mexico City. They may land at Oak Ridge, Fairbanks, Flagstaff, or Anaconda. They may land at your town or mine, for the air is the greatest freeway man will ever know. It doesn't have to be built or maintained. It touches every city and town. So little is needed to use it. An airplane, a smooth strip of ground.
Officer Krause, boys and girls. He has some very important things to tell you. I hope you listen to him and remember what he says.
Hi, kids. You've probably all heard stories about boys and girls who got into trouble. How they went off with strangers and their families never saw them again. I'm sure your parents and teachers have told you never to talk to strangers. But sometimes kids forget, and some kids think they know it all, that nothing could ever happen to them. Well, let's see. I'm going to tell you how some other boys and girls got mixed up with strangers, so we can be sure it never happens to us. Remember the story about little Debbie Vincent? Hi there, little lady. My goodness, you're all alone. Wouldn't you like to go for a ride with me? I'll buy you some ice cream. Well, nobody saw her again. It was on the TV news.
And now, turning to the local scene, the search continues for little Debbie Vincent, missing since yesterday morning. So far, there are no clues to her disappearance. Police speculate that she must have forgotten her parents' warnings and perhaps gone off with someone in a car. No witness has been located who can give any description or license number that might help in tracking down the vehicle.
Debbie forgot what her parents had told her about strangers. And see what happened? Now let's look at some of the ways that we might run into trouble. It's not very smart to play in lonely places like this.
Hi, either you guys collect baseball cards?
Yeah, I do.
Here, they're yours.
Wow, thanks.
I got some more. I live pretty close. You want them?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
We can only hope that he doesn't have to learn the hard way that his parents were right when they told him that strangers can be dangerous. A movie theater is a friendly place. What if somebody says hello to you or smiles? Well, that's probably all right. Most everybody likes kids. this man followed the girl into the theater. He isn't just an ordinary stranger who likes kids. You should never let a stranger put his arm around you or touch you. This girl is doing exactly the right thing, just what her parents had told her to. She changed her seat. But the man followed her again. All she can do now is to get the manager or the usher.
There he is. That's the man.
Just remember what you've been told about strangers, and it's easy to stay out of trouble. For instance, in a place like this park,
Hi there. Want some candy? I've got 2 full bags in the car you can take home. Come on.
this girl's mother had told her never to take candy from strangers. Well, she forgot. But her brother didn't. The man was afraid the boy's shouts might attract attention.
Hi, Sally.
Do I know you?
I'm a friend of your mother's. She wants me to take you home.
Okay. See you guys later.
Of course, Sally had been told never to get into a car with a stranger. But she forgot, too.
It was only because her friend here wrote down the light